Hello, 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 hello. How are we all? We all good? All good, all good, all good. Anyway, we're getting into a race, so let's get back to it, should we, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to Charging a League Racing. My name is Gingernar1107, better known as Cal, and I am massively unprepared as always. So, welcome back. This is Thursday tier, season 5. We are in round 1 and we have a fairly full grid to bring us the excitement that we usually see here in CLR. Hello Jens, long time no see. Well, it hasn't been for me, I've had to put up with you all summer. But long time no see in chat, should I say. Mr. Weatherman, hopefully we'll be back to his duties as we get back into the swing of things. I've got to get back into the swing of things as well, as, you know, I haven't touched the game, I haven't commentated on a game, I haven't done anything on a game for a very long time. But for now, hopefully, I'm going to get an announcement about the stream being up, otherwise, you know, we might not have anyone here, it'll be a bit boring for me, it might just be you and me, Jens. But for now, we are just going to wait and see how long it'll be until we get going. Talking about Hungary then, we have 14 corners, and I believe it's 18 drivers here today. Don't quote me. 18, yep. We should be getting some more, fingers crossed. And a lot of you, old members, will recognise some of these names. Maybe even the new members as well. There's quite a few recognisable names on here. Quite a few new ones as well. Looking at the new ones, we've got Faded Away. We have got and Jean. That's all we've got. Everyone else was here last season. Yep. If I'm missing anyone, then I apologise. I'm fairly certain Faded Away was here last season for one race. There we go, race clips come out. I think that was brief races raced away. But for now, we're going to watch some racing action. I have waited a whole summer for this, so I am absolutely buzzing. Other than the fact that, there we go, we're going to go off board and we're going to watch the kick Sauber of Bubba. Bubba in the kick Sauber this season, that's interesting. Let's have a quick look at what it was in last season. I can't. Right, we won't look then. He was in CLR Thursday launch, I believe. Probably even Friday. He does like his racing. Your weatherman is here. Mixed conditions. A way to come back after the summer break. A bit of mixed condition racing. Oh, you've got to love it. You have got to love it. Over the summer, though, we've got 2 new follows, which is nice. A little bit more into the 100 zone, which we reached right at the end of the last season. So hopefully this season, season 5, will bring some brand new action, some brand new people into the stream and a bit more fun. I'm not saying last season wasn't fun, but you know what I mean. It's a launch season. This season is a proper thing, and you can see Monaco. You can see Hungary here. It's almost like Monaco. Some would say Monaco without the walls. It's a tricky one. Really, really is a tricky one. Yeah, you can tell why people don't like it. I'm a big fan. I quite enjoy it. I quite like Monaco, and without the walls, it just makes me a bit better because I like walls, you know. But anyway, here comes Bubba. Turn 1. Here he goes. The first corner, first flying lap corner we will see in season 5, done by Bubba. He's now going to take the second corner. We're going to go towards that apex. Does he hit it? No, he doesn't. Takes a little bit of a wide line, but it does set him up nicely for turn 3. And that is sector 1 done. Easy as that. 24, 25, 26, 27 seconds takes through the first sector, does Bubba. Turn 4 is that little sweeping left before you come to the long sweeping right. Touch the inside curb and you'll face the other way. So don't touch that inside curb before you reach the chicane of turn 6 and 7. Hit those apexes to a prime, as you did very well see there from Bubba. As you go through turn 8, 9, the sweeping section of turn 10. This is turn 10, the sweeping section of sector 2 before you reach the very end from sector 2 into turn 11. Now we're in the final sector of the track. You've got turn 12. It's a little bit of a 90-degree corner before the 180 of turn 13. Sweep it in, get on the throttle as early as you dare. Quite a tricky one though before you get to turn 14. Round the final corner before you try and avoid that inside pit lane wall, which we've seen people hit before. But to the line, a 16.2 by the kick Sauber. Good bank lap. I've heard that people will be trying to do more though, so let's keep an eye. Next across the line was Rico in the Alpine this season. I think he's a reserve though. Possibly, fingers crossed. Maybe I might be lying. I think he is though, and he has gone up to P2, 17.4. Not bad at all. At all. I've got to try and remember my nationalities as well because I will butcher that. As here comes Andrew. What can Andrew do? To the line, 18.6. He's a little bit further off than those in front of him. Let's set this to leader. There you go. And then Nivi. First time back. We love Nivi here, don't we? Nivi is a prime member here in CLR. One that everyone loves. And he's gone up to P2. Near Bubba, 3/10 off. And not a bad lap time. And Furious Appy in the V car. That's a beautiful car. Furious Appy is driving around here today. And like his teammate, sets it up to P1. So Furious Appy demoted to P5. And then below... can I say he was last season Friday champion? I don't know. I haven't done much prep, as you probably can tell, but he's gone up to P2. Let's have a look, shall we? Trophy cabinet. Was he last? No, that was MJ, and then Pinkweb. Yes, I swear Blow won something last season. Yeah, he won the constructors. There you go, with Aston Martin. Well, he's now on a Haas, and let's see what he can do there. Ricciardo up to P5, the new FIA member that don't know. He is joining the squad along with DR Alex. Hopefully, he's give a bit more easy work for me and the other gents in the FIA tent. It's been a bit busy recently, but fingers crossed it'll be a bit more quieter. Ellie's back as well. That's an old name. A lot of you might recognise that. Ellie in the Alpine this time round. She's back in chat as well. So nice to have you back, Ellie. It is very nice to see you back on track. Hopefully sooner rather than later. We're already 8 minutes into this session and she's still in the pit lane. But fingers crossed she'll be out soon enough to show us some fun action that she always likes to show. Who else we got? Twinkie down at the bottom for now. I think he's a little bit working over the summer from what I've heard. So, you know, maybe it's just him getting ready, giving a bit of a banker lap before he gets going again in his next lap time to try and, you know, shake up the grid order a bit. Red Bull and CLR have not been known for their prime results. So, you never know. With Hobnob in that car now, though, you never know. It could be mixed up. We could see some interesting results here from Red Bull this season if Hobnob comes back next race round. I'm sure he will. He loves a bit of fun, doesn't he? Hobnob likes his racing action. Then in the Ferrari is George Gamer. He won a championship in an Alfa Romeo back in the day, proper back in the day, maybe 2 years ago or so. But here he is, promoted to the Ferrari team, the main supplier. Can he bring back the glory he did all that time ago? Now, he's got a bit more competition than he did back in that day. He used to have Sleepy Sloth. That's changed now to the likes of DR Alex and below. Nivi, Bubba, those top names. You've got Bjorn, you've got MJ, you've got all those big names that he's now got to be very, very afraid of. Another name that I want to mention, I can't find him, he's here somewhere. There he is, in that beautiful chrome Mastercard McLaren, is Reggie. He loves that McLaren car, does Reggie, and he is going to be showing, I think, a bit of potential here this season, and one to keep an eye on for sure. Always keep an eye on Reggie. He's a dark horse in most races. I don't have high hopes for my Red Bull season. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a trauma to Red Bull here in CLR, but you never know. Twinkie might be able to switch it around for them. You never know. It's always an option, always a chance. Who's that coming around? Is it Ellie? I think it's a Williams. I think it is MJB who's coming to the pit lane. Yep, he goes P6, just behind Ricciardo, who's clearly been a bit of working over summer, up to P5. Not bad at the moment. Let's see what everyone else can do, as Ricciardo's teammate of Reggie has come to the line to start his hot lap. We then have Bjorn, another, I think he was Season 3 Drivers' Championship in Friday tier, if I remember that correctly. That was a while ago. He is coming around along with Sickpath, which is his teammate. So this Aston Martin team, quite scary to be fair. On their day, quite a good team. Who was that just gone up the order? That was the Ferrari duo, up to P8 and 9. Max tier usually in this, but you've now got George Gamer and Faded. So they're up there. They're going to be causing a bit of drama here tonight. It's all going to be mixed up. It's all going to be a bit of a mix-up compared to last season. That is a lot of vibration I'm guessing through my controller as the Haas roars it up the pit lane. Actually ends the Odenhall. We have a crash, and it is Rico. Our first retirement of the season is in qualifying. It's caused by Rico. We'll ride on board with his teammate of Ellie, and you can see it's a very nasty crash as well. Tyre shredded off. So yeah, not the best for Rico, but let's see what his teammate of Ellie can do. She's currently up in P10, back on track after a long time away, a long time away. Furious Dappy as well, still up in P7. Let's see what he can do. Usually one of the backer markers, but over summer he's clearly come into his own. And another driver that has done coming into his own is Reggie, up to P3 in qualifying. Mr. Saturday has arrived here on Saturday. What a lap by Reggie, as below I can also see is going a hell of a lot quicker, so keep an eye on him as well. Pinkweb's in chat. Hello Pinkweb. Hello, nice to have you here as well, Mr. Last Season Champion, hey? Bet Alex for Paul. Yeah, that's a safe bet, isn't it? I'm going to bet Reggie because I like to go bold, and Reggie is a big name. Or even the new man of Gene, as he sets... I'm assuming that was another warm-up lap. Let's hope for his sake, as yeah, he seems to be going quite quickly through turn 1. So let's see what he can do. Here's Close of Garlic, another new boy. Let's see what he can do as well. First debut race for him. What car is he in? Was he meant to be in? We'll chuck him in a car. It's meant to be the Mercedes. Fingers crossed who ends up in that. It doesn't matter either way. Oh, that does remind me. Give me 2 seconds. I've got to do my transfer thing. Give me two seconds. CLR Thursday, Hungary. Oh, it's not there. Oh dear. I'm so underprepared. Why can't I do it? Yes. Do that. There we go. Start. There we go. Perfect. That should do it now. Fingers crossed. Who we got? We're still watching Gene. He's had a lap. He's been on in the background whilst I was struggling away, you know, forgetting to do my normal admin I should be doing. Here he comes to the line. Ooh, he's up there with the big boys on a debut. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm just going to quickly check chat because I'm not sure how it is at the moment. Ready and waiting. Yes. Yes, do that. Thank you, Jens. I appreciate that. Right. Let's get back into this then. Who is coming around next that I need to look at? Bubba. Is he going any quicker? No, he's not. Let me turn this overlay off because it's really annoying me. There we go. Yeah, he's not going any quicker, but I'm assuming he's on a warm-up lap. And yeah, that's me sorted, so I can come out of that. Back onto my normal notes, my corner numbers. I'm not very good at corner numbers. I'm not very good at numbers in general, to be honest. You know that. You know that by now. Who's the V-carb? That is Alex. Is he improving? I think he is. Let's see what he can do. As we're 6 minutes left of this session, we're 12 minutes in. It's flown by, and he's 4 attempts up. Blimey, Alex. So he's already on for a 15.1. Let's see what this final sector can bring for the Milton Keynes man. Round the second to final corner, sizes himself up for that final corner. Another swing to the right. It's a very hard track on tyres here. Lots of long turns. Get that heat in. And what can he do? A 15.3. Loses a little bit of time in sector 3, but it's still not a bad lap time. Gets him nearly 5 tenths ahead of his closest competitor of below in the Haas. These two have always been close, fierce rivals, haven't they? Always, always, always. Who haven't we looked at yet? I think everyone's had a bit of a look at. Let's have a look at Andrew as he is on an out lap, down in P11 at the current moment. He's got an Aston Martin behind him. I hope they're on an out lap too. It does look like it because I think it's Sick Path who did abandon his lap earlier on. I did catch, so we'll see what Sick Path can do for his first lap times, and we also can see that Brief faded away. Is starting at their next lap, or they're quite far through, 38 seconds in to their lap time. Down in P12 with the moment, only 2 tenths off of George Gamer, 2 tenths off the 3-time world champion, so it's not a bad stat to have, as she goes very wide. She has gone very wide, but it hasn't invalidated, so she might as well keep on going. Let's see what this sector 2 will come to as she does invalidate, and that it was a little bit down as well, so I'm assuming she'll abandon that lap and go again, or she might be coming into the pit lane. We'll wait and see. We'll follow on. Number 21, Scarlet Red Ferrari. It's a beautiful car, isn't it? Very, very beautiful. And yeah, she does come into the pit lane. Fair enough, she'll be getting ready to go out again. There'll be a little bit of time left, and we've still got 4 minutes left in that session. You can see the Ferrari pit crew jumping out, getting that time ready to get them out again. Jens as well, down in P16. I'm sure he'll like to improve, as he does, actually. I probably shouldn't have stated too much. He's just subscribed. He's now a Tier 1 member. Thank you for subscribing. I think you now join in the very long club of you and Racebrower, or actually I should say Vion. You two are the only subscribers. If anyone else will subscribe, you know, you can. It helps us out, gives us a little bit of extra stuff. We can make CLR a bit more interesting for you if you give us a little sub. If you don't want to sub, you can always follow as well, or leave a like or anything. I don't know if you know if you can like on Twitch. I don't know how that works. Do whatever it says on the bottom of the page, really. What everyone else says on a Twitch stream. I don't know. I'm great. I like you, Mr. Commentator. Thank you. Yes, I like me too, and I try my best. But we'll continue on with a bit more qualifying. Who is it? Who's coming round the final corner? It's Andrew. What can Andrew do? Mr. Andrew from Canada comes to the line. P6. If you remember back at Monaco in the launch season of Thursday tier, that was 25 launch season, he got a podium, and that was pretty much the only thing he done that season. So we'll wait and see if it's a round one demon Andrew is. He's actually up in P6 at the moment, so that maybe it's a stat that he doesn't want to have, round 1 demon, but for now, for today, he wouldn't mind having it, would he? He would not mind. We then have the Haas of Below. He is closest competitor to Alex. What can he do? He does improve his lap time by 2.5 tenths, and it puts him 2.5 tenths behind Alex, but it's not enough. He needs to come back in, probably, strap a fresh set of tyres onto that Haas and go again. Does he have time, though? That's the question. Be close. He's going to be really, really close. Below is right on the edge of that cut-off to get another lap time in. Or he might think that's his best lap time and call it quits for the rest of the session. I'm not him, he's him. But I'm sure in the race we'll see him in his true glory in the Haas car. So will we for Ricciardo, who isn't setting a lap time, as I saw that red light flashing. Either that or he's really, really slow. Nope, he's just getting ready. I think he's just come out of pit lane, and he'll be getting ready to set up his final lap time. Everyone getting ready to set up their final lap time here in the session. We can see on the left hand side of your screen a lot of outlaps. Still a lot of people in the pit lane though. As you might know, it's a very, very short track. It's what, 4.6 kilometers. I have got it on my phone. Let's be 4.3. I was close. I was close. 4.3 kilometers long. It's a fairly short track, to be fair. 4.3 kilometers is short compared to Belgium, which is what, 7.1. I've got that on my wall somewhere as well. Yeah, 7.1 or 7.001. Yeah, okay, it's about that. It's about that. Don't ask me why I've got my wall. I have a lot of pictures. Anyway, continuing with the actual racing action rather than my bedroom wall, we're going to have a look at who's to cross the line next for our hot lap. There's a lot of cars today, isn't there? We have got, I think it's going to be Bubba. Yeah, no, it's going to be Twinkie. Here comes Twinkie. No, I was right. It's going to be Bubba. Yeah. No, it is Twinkie. Oh, Andrew's out of the session. I'm too busy waffling. I don't know what's going on. But Andrew's out of the session. I think that was just a retirement in the pit lane. Yeah, it was. I think he just called it quits for the end of this session. I'm sure we'll see him do something in the race, as there is Andrew giving way to a couple of cars. It's very hard to give way here in Hungary. It's almost like he's driving around Britain. People don't like to give way, but we'll move away from that. Who's going to be next? Everyone's on outlaps. Everyone's getting themselves sized up to go and give that car a bit of a thrashing. We have got George going on a hot lap. We've got the McLarens, and one of those McLarens is Ricciardo. So yeah, it will be Ricciardo, who is improving as well. Currently in P7, his teammate up in P4. Those McLarens, even the Kicks Albers, look mighty, mighty fast. But here comes Ricciardo. He improved not by much, only good enough for P6. That will be at best, as we have got a Kicks Albers Bubba. He goes up to P4. Mr. Saturday here as well, and Mr. Sunday. He's a very good driver, Bubba. Goes up to P4 for now. We then have Bion, who's starting his lap. Oh, I don't think he made it in time. No, he didn't. So that's Bion's session over. P13, best for him. Same for the Ferrari George Gamer, up to P9. Not a bad lap time, does improve from his previous lap. Then have Ellie beating George Gamer. The 3-time world champion has been beaten by Ellie on her return Oh, George. And then he's been beaten by Furious Happy as well. Oh, George. Dropping down the table like a dead fly here. Then have Nivi on his return. 3 temps improvement. Puts him up to P5 in ahead of the 2 McLarens. You then have what would be MJB jumping in last minute back into his seat. He gets himself up to P4 with a huge improvement. So that Williams of MJB showing what he can do after winning last season's launch season championship. We then have the other Ferrari faded away, beats her teammate of George Gamer up to P12. Then the McLaren of Reggie gets himself up to P3. Oh, Reggie, impressive stuff. Mr. Saturday, that chrome McLaren doing absolute wonders as his teammate comes into the pit lane. You then have Bubba coming around the pit straight again. He won't be improving his lap time. But the V-car with Dear Alex will be, as he nearly gets into the 14s. He can't, almost does, but he can't get all the way. You then have Gene, who comes across the line, stays P3. I think that was a little bit of improvement from him. Yeah, and then I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Sick Path can't find any improvement. Jens brings it into the pit lane, and so has Ricciardo. So that's it for qualifying. You have your top 1, 2, 3, Alex, Blow, and Jean. Only one new boy up there. Not bad, not bad. I don't know where Klovek's gone. Let me give him an invite because he's asking for one. I apologise. That session was a bit exciting. Where is he? Probably gone past him. Either I'm really blind or I can't see him. Nope, I can't see him. Tough. Not getting invited, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. But yeah, great lap time from Alex here today. But what I'm looking most excited, as we have a very weird view of the Aston Martin of Bjorn. Oh, there we go. Now we're on board with him. Nice, lovely purple helmet. It's a Lewis Hamilton helmet, I believe. But yeah, I want to see what Bjorn could do. He likes his Sundays, doesn't he? Does Bjorn Quint. And in chat, we have got a few people joining in. So Ellie says, not a bad start, especially considering my form in F124. Very happy for top 10. Top 10. Yeah, she is 10th. So yeah, quite a spread grid. But if you look from P5 down to like P13, it's only about 7 tenths. So, you know, not too bad. Apart from Alex, who's like kind of dominated that front pack as he likes to do. Jens says he bummed it. Oh. Jens, not very good. Jens didn't do very well, is what he said there. As we've got rain, that's what I was excited for. That's what Mr. Weatherman told me. As we know, it'll be mixed weather here in this session. We have 2 minutes. Fingers crossed it will be 2 minutes, as I can waffle on. I'm also going to give you a minute 30 ad, so have fun with that. If you don't get the minute 30 ad, as you know, I will continue to waffle on about random rubbish for the next 2 minutes. So, as we have in chat, Jens says, please be ready for the 2 minutes. I'm not going to tell you when it's ready. George will tell you. By the sounds of it, though, someone's readied up. So that's a quali ban for them. Unlucky, you were told, unfortunately. But for now, I want to get ready for the actual racing action. We have got wet weather. I love a bit of wet weather racing. It just makes it so much more exciting, doesn't it? It's a bit of an eye shrink, though, as we go around the first lap. As long as everyone's a bit careful, keeps their fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed, they should be okay. But for now, it's just this peaceful wait as we have a look at the McLaren and Ferrari pit box. And everyone seems very, very still. And some very unwrapped intermediate tyres. Is that the new ruling? I can't remember. I know they changed it. I think they have to be wrapped, don't they? I don't know. Someone probably knows better than me. Do wet tyres be wrapped anymore? I know you can see the dry tyres outside getting soaked. They're wrapped though, so they're going to be nice and warm. But those intermediates are going to be freezing. I don't know how it works. My F1 knowledge is not that elite. Anyway, it's a long wait. It is a long wait. As we can see the entire pit lane, you can see it's a little bit sodden. Just imagine what the tarmac of the racing track, the 4.1 kilometers we have out there is going to be like. The ad break's gone though, which means you have 30 minutes of pre-roll, which pretty much means you're not going to get an ad break for a long time. Oh, by the looks of it, we did get the 2 minute break. Yeah, 2 minute break we've had. So fingers crossed, everyone's been able to get ready. If not, good luck. I wish you the best. Everyone that's watching on, wish them the best, because our drivers have a challenge today. A challenge that I don't think they're prepared for. You know, they come back after a nice warm summer away. I hope everyone enjoyed their summer, but these ladies and gentlemen are going to be very cold and wet and very sweaty, because it's going to be one excitement of a race. It's what, 35 laps they're going to have to go through with mixed conditions. But before we get to that, we have a little bit of a formation lap to go through first. So if you don't know what a formation lap is, if you're new to the F1 kind of world, basically what it is these drivers get a little bit of time to warm up their tyres. So they go around for a lap, warm the tyres up, and then line up in their pit box, and then that's when they get to the big 5 red lights. They go out and you get going for a bit of fun, as you could say, if you want to call it fun. It's normally a bit of nerves for me, but for now we're just going to watch everyone trundle around. You can't overtake during this part of the Grand Prix. It's just a very slow part. Obviously Alex doesn't like doing slow. It's not something he knows the definition of, I don't think. So he likes to hoss it around. But obviously, if you're at the front of the pack, you pace the pack. So you do you. It just means when he gets to his pit box, it's going to get very, very cold. And we have seen a spin-off. Who is that? That is Ellie in the formation lap. Has gone extremely wide. Does get let on by her teammate of Rico, though. So she can just chill there until she gets back to her pit box, grid box, and she'll end back up in P10. There's no need to worry during this part of the Grand Prix. Do it next lap or the next 35 laps, then there's a little bit to worry about, because that means a little bit more. For now, we're just going to watch Alex, nearly the same, as he will come round nearly to the final corner now with Blow behind him, as I think we'll see for a very, very long time during this race, if not the entire race, these two at the front. If anyone can try and bring it to them, you know, that'd be a bit more excitement. But we can already see, I don't know if it's just my eyes, probably, but it looks like it's drying up a little bit. Maybe because we've got 18 Formula 1 cars going around it. As, ooh, Alex pushed it right to that yellow line. Yeah, that's where you've got to stop by, and he is on it. So very well done from him. I would have butchered it. We'll just watch everyone else line up on their grid slot, shall we now? So here they all come into their spaces, filling up as we go all the way back to the end, and you can see Twinkie is in his spot, which now means we're going to get ready for some racing action. So here we go. 18 cars facing the very blank lights at the moment, but here they go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big red lights that will ignite the silence. Is now, after a long hold, we get going back again in CLR Racing Thursday. It's a good start from Alex, almost a better start from Blow, as we see all 18 cars bombing it down to turn 1. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? MJB up the inside of 2 cars, but Alex, keeping an insane start, can almost defend off all 3 of them, and he has managed to do it with MJB getting an insane start. Below's dropped down, so is Gene, and Reggie with a good start as well. But through the pack, we can see a couple of moves, 2 by 2 by 2, all the way down, really, it is here. Andrew fighting his way through. We can see Furious Happy going a little bit wide. The 2 Ferraris not getting the best start, and we can see a little bit of contact. I think that'll be for Rico, as a little bit of pink end plate went flying off there. But Beyond with an incredible start up to P9 at the moment, flying past all 5 cars. That's incredible. You have Jens and Twink with a good start. I think we might have seen them coming together by Sixth Path and Rico right at the start of this season. Unlucky for them. Hopefully they can keep on going. But here we can see Alex, he's got the wettest part of the track. He only had a car going around fairly slowly about 2 minutes ago, so it's going to be a damp. So he's going to have to displace it before everyone else, but he is doing well. A little bit of sliding, but he's managing it to perfection. MJB only 7 tenths, 9 tenths behind. Can Alex pull away? Let's keep an eager eye on that for now. You can see Blown, we see Jean. He spins off, and he spins off again on that inside curve. It's very, very damp, and he's very much struggled off of it as he rejoins the track. Hopefully doesn't cause too much problem for the Ferraris, as he has a little bit. George to the inside of the final corner. The Ferraris go side by side. Jean has to back out of that. I'm not surprised, as the Ferraris are going to hammer and tong down the pit straight. Here they come towards turn 1. Does Jean look to the inside? Yes, he does. Can we go 3 wide? We do a little bit. George making contact with the kick Sauber. The Ferrari are faded, has to stick behind a little bit. Jens sticking his nose in on the inside of turn 1 there as well. But it's all settled down now. And George stays P13, faded in P14. A little bit of switcheroos from the Ferrari at the start of this session. But for now, that's all we've seen, apart from Jean's a little spin-off. Maybe a little bit of lack of concentration. You need to try and dial into the race, and you don't get that right at the start. You've got to bring it in slowly. So that could be Jean having to cool those tyres down and prepare himself for a bit of a slower start to this session. Reggie, though, we can see is also trying to bring that McLaren tyre in nice and slowly here. He'll try and, fingers crossed, get himself going later down in the Grand Prix to keep up with this top 3, MJB and DR Alex, P1 and 2 at the moment. Not much separates them before below Reggie Bubba, and Bjorn is very much on the train behind Bubba. We got the Bubba train all the way down here to pretty much P16. It's a very, very long train, but Bubba likes leading his train, and he is very good at it. Mr. Defence up here is class at showing people the brick wall of that kick Sauber or any Formula 1 car, indeed. But at the moment, looks like Twinkie had to box for damage. So has Rico. We saw these two coming together right at the start of the Grand Prix, and it has affected them with damage. So that'll be 2 pit stops, 2 early pit stops. As long as there's not a late safety, an early safety car, they should be okay. Because if they take a late safety car, they've got a free pit stop underneath everyone else, and they could be in a good position. But an early safety car will just drop them down that order quicker than a dead fly. But for now, we are just going to watch this big train as the top 4 have very much skittered off and are in a world of their own. DR Alex has pulled away. MJB looks like he's struggling a little bit as Below has closed up to the back of them. Will Reggie now try and pounce on that and close up to the back of them two? We'll wait and see, as we are going to go to the heady cam and watch Bjorn right up the back. A little bit of contact between the kick Sauber and Aston Martin here. It's going to be really, really close. Bubba clearly struggling in that kick Sauber in these wet conditions. But here comes Bjorn. I think he's been making a move, probably out of Sector 2 here. So is Ellie, though. Look at her. Right up the chuff as we go through turn 11 towards turn 12. Can Bjorn do anything? He stays behind for a little bit longer as we go on towards lap 4 now. Can he do anything down the pit straight? That's what we'll keep an eye on, as Sickpath gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting a corner, I believe. But we'll keep an eye on this fight. It's really close as Jean is making his way back through the field, fighting hard with Ricciardo. On the outside goes Jean. Inside goes Ricciardo, but I think Jean has got that extra traction on the racing line. He has done, but Ricciardo isn't going to give it up that easily. Squeezed by the kick Sauber is the McLaren. To the inside goes Jean, takes that apex very nicely and has made a lovely, lovely move. Up at the front as well. Bubba's been passed by Bjorn. Now squeezes out Ellie. Ellie, can she move to the inside to try and make that move? Bubba's really putting up a fight here. Doesn't want to give up that P6 as little as he can, really, doesn't he? But he's really getting pushed by that Alpine. Then it'll be the Mercedes giving Bubba a bit of a push. Probably trying to give Ellie a bit of a push to get past, as Bjorn already pulls away. 1.3 seconds. 1.4, 1.5. Bjorn is showing some insane pace in that Aston Martin after a poor qualifying session. 9 positions gained already. That is class from the Dutchman. But here we go. It's a tricky track to overtake on. Can Ellie do anything during Sector 2 before the pit straight of Sector 3? It's a tricky one. I think she might try and have a look. Oh no, she can't. A little bit of a problem coming out of turn 11 before turn 12. Stay behind for a little bit longer. Size it up a bit. Get that early on the brake, early on the exit, and you'll have a good exit out turn 14. And try and make that move stick before you get to turn 1 for lap 5 here in CLR Thursday. It's been an exciting start, but here comes Ellie. Can she cause any more excitement as she is hossing it down that pit straight now? Can she go to the inside of the kick Sauber? Is she close enough? She gives it a go to the inside. She knows she can't stay behind much longer. Bubba gives a squeeze. Just enough racing room has been provided. It's very much hammer and tong between these two. Oh, it's getting exciting. To the outside goes Ellie of turn 2. Bubba's going to give a squeeze as he comes to the exit. A little bit of a tank slapper. Ellie keeps the traction down just enough to keep that lead. And what a move made by Ellie. But here comes Bubba towards turn 4, sorry. As he goes to the outside, runs a little bit wide. He can't keep that position. He does have to give it to Ellie. As he now can try and fight back towards turn 5. He doesn't have the traction, has to settle for P7. I'm sure Nibby want to give that in as Jean appears out of nowhere into the chicane of turn 6 and 7. Makes a lovely move up on the inside of the Norwegian driver. Beautiful, beautiful move by Jean. I think he might have caught Nibby a little bit by surprise there. Let's see what this kick Sauber can do. Is there going to be team orders between the teammates this early into the season? I'll be surprised if there is. As we see another spin though, this time for Ricciardo, and it's going to give Furious Up a bit of a problem as we go on to sector 3 here. Is he going to try and make a move? No, he's not, but I think Furious Up will be sizing one up in the near couple of corners. Dear Alex still doing enough though to keep that lead, but not enough to manage it, and MJB seems to be hunting down. And as we look at the weather, it has seemed to stop raining, so will we begin to see dry compound of tyres chucked onto some cars, because, you know, once it stops raining, there is still a little bit of dampness on the track. But here comes Jean anyway, on the inside of his teammate. Easy move there. Bubba didn't put as much as a fight up as he did for the other two. Can Nibby do anything now? The Norwegian driver, can he look to the inside of turn 2? He's giving it a go. Not enough though, in the wet conditions still. It's a little bit of a tricky. There won't be much grip with this slowly drying track, so Nibby's got to be careful that he doesn't go flying to the back of him. But the back drivers of Sickpath, Rico and Twinkie, seeing the track dry off, have come in for a set of dry tyres. Not a bad shout. If you're that far behind anyway, you might as well risk it for a biscuit. And that is what these three have done. They want that biscuit. They want that hobnob, as some might say. But there we go. Let's wait and see how that unplays for them. Fingers crossed for their sake. They're going to get a good result out of it and get themselves back into this race. But we can see, I think that was MJB going a purple in Sector 2. There's a bit of pace. Actually, no, I think it was Alex, as he has a 2.3 second lead. None of your top 3 pit, though, which is an interesting call. Will Reggie be one to pull in? No, he doesn't. Maybe Bjorn. After passing Bubba after all that time, can he pull in? No, he doesn't. He stays out. Still sliding. Everyone staying out, just playing it safe. But no, Nibby, the first man to come in out of that front pack for, I'm assuming, what will be a set of fresh tyres. Get out of that train, strap on that fresh set, and see what he can do. Down into that pit limiter is really, really slow. 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour if you're from Europe. They're going to strap on that dry tyre, not going to get held up by Furious Appy, who's another driver who's going to try on for the medium. We'll just show you your current tyre status. There you go. So there is what everyone has chosen so far. You've got 2 mediums on Furious Appy and Twinkie, and 3 hards on Nivy, Sickpath and Rolico. So a little bit of a split decision, but I think it will still be a one-stop. Medium to hard here in Hungary. The tyre wear isn't that bad as it can be to some other tracks, but I think this pit lane is going to be a busy, busy place as we come around towards the end of lap 7. But DR Alex nearly into sector 3. He is into sector 3. And then Nivy only just coming towards the end of sector 1. Huge spacing between them all. Obviously, Nivy's made that extra pit stop for the dry tyres already, so he has got that advantage. But let's wait and see where it pulls out Nivy in a few laps' time. But DR Alex doesn't pit. Neither does the MJB or below. So clearly thinking it's still wet enough out there for the intermediate tyres. And DR Alex popping in some good lap times, clearly showing that it is still dry and wet enough. But who doesn't think it's wet enough is Jean. Jean has come into the pit lane. The Frenchman, I believe he's French. Just to double check, I will check my notes. He's in the kick Sauber. He's a reserve. I think he's French. Fingers crossed. But he's in for a set of fresh tyres. So has your 3-time world champion George Chamber. He's in for a set of the dry tyres. And as we see Ricciardo sending it up the inside of Andrew, the Williams and McLaren car going at it here. Towards turn 2 will go. Does Andrew look to the inside? No, he doesn't. He has a think about it, but not enough room to give it a proper go. George Gamer and Jean have come out quite far ahead of Nivy though, so maybe Nivy pulling the wrong call at the wrong time. Yeah, it does look like it. Unless, yeah, I don't know if there's much pace on that on that dry tyre yet. There must be enough of a wet track to keep that pace in those Formula 1 cars as we're seeing at the moment. MJB though, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in and see if he can do anything to get that undercut on Dear Alex. As long as Dear Alex doesn't come in this lap, let's wait and see what he does. No, he doesn't. Will MJ come in now? Yes, he does. Does Blow follow? No. So that's an interesting call from MJB. He is going for that undercut strategy on Alex. Alex going a little bit quicker. That's 3 tenths quicker than he did last time. Let's see what MJB does. Will he go for mediums? Will he go for hards? Will he maybe even try a soft tyre? That's the strategy. That's the call that Williams is going to have to make to see what they can do against the V-Carb team. It's going to be a medium. So there is a medium tyre on the Williams. And he is going to come out in about P6 as everyone behind is now going for the dry tyres. And Ricciardo gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Bubba, Andrew, Ricciardo, Brief are all into the pit lane for those dry tyres. Jens stays out. And that just leaves your top 5 on the intermediates. They're going to begin to struggle as we get into the latter portion of this wet period, the end of the wet period you could say. And Gene has come out just ahead of Bubba, so you know the undercut he was looking for hasn't gained too much, but he'll have that warmth which is going to give him that advantage. And fingers crossed for Gene's sake, he will still end up with a little bit of a gap, as Bubba hopefully will get a bit more grip and a bit more hope and belief in himself in this stint, as he didn't clearly have on that intermediate. But here comes George round the outside of Ricciardo. He has a little look, not enough to make a move up towards turn 4 though, so he does have to stay behind for a little bit longer. Let's wait and see what he can do. Has DRS been activated though? That's the question I want to know. And the question I really want to know is, why is Dear Alex still going round on the intermediate tyre? He's clearly playing and knows something that everyone else doesn't. Below stays out, Reg thinks it's time and he comes in. So does Beyond, but Ellie, on her debut race after a very long time away, is staying out as well. Does Jens call the same strategy call, or does he come in? He comes in. So there's only 3 cars now out on that track on the intermediate tyre still. So for them, you'd be looking for a safety car. Right now, if someone was to fly it or fling it or anything to happen, a little bit of debris, anything like that, to come out on track and cause an issue, they get a safety car, they get a free pit stop. And that means these top 3 will stay. These top 3, that nothing will change. They'll get a fresh set of tyres and have that advantage. It's a risky strat. If there is no safety car, they could be in a lot of trouble, unless it's meant to rain again. You never know. Then they're going to get 2 pit stops of the guys behind. That is an interesting call. I don't know what it's meant to be like later on in this Grand Prix. Let's wait and see. We do know it's meant to be mixed though. Nivido down in P14, not getting the best strategy call as he thought he could have on that undercut, but with that warm tyre he'll be able to cut his way through Faded and Jens, who have only just pit. So we'll keep an eye on what Nivi can do down in P14 at the moment. Point system here in CLR back in the normal season only goes down to 12th. So you know, there's a point to play for here in this wooden spoon fight, as Brief goes very wide and does go off track. Nivi will take that. His lovely warm tyres aren't going to say no to a free position, and he's up to P13 at the moment, facing Jens. As that is Twinkie, who's very ghosted. I think that's because he's getting lapped by Below, who hasn't pit, and I think he's hit the fastest lap. As Dear Alex, though, has called it time and has come into the pit lane. Where does he come out compared to MJB? It was 3 seconds before he pit. What's it going to be now? As MJB sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, it's nearly 8 seconds. So Dear Alex has pulled a masterclass of an overcut, going onto that dry tyre well later than MJB. It's now 7 seconds. You'll have to warm up that hard tyre, unlike MJB's 2-lap old, you know, already beginning to give that grip to the Williams car. It's going to take a while, but I think that undercut he's already got is going to give him that big advantage. Let's see what Blow will do, as he's in P1 at the moment, still yet to pit. And Ellie, who's come out on the hard tyre as well, up to P5. What a strategy call from the Alpine and the V-Carb at this point of the race. We're about 11 laps in, 3:35, so a little way to go yet. Anything can happen, but it's good beginning, good way to settle into the Grand Prix, as Ellie is just ahead of that Aston Martin car. As we look further down the order, it's that big train behind Bubba spread out. George Gamer still in that Bubba train, trying to close back up. Andrew and Ricciardo, I'm sure, will be trying to add their way through as well, as Nivi has got past Jens with that warmer hard tyre. Jens is probably only just about getting there. Nivi's been there for 3 laps now, so Nivi makes easy work of Jens and will be looking ahead of him now rather than behind. Looking at Reggie as well though, he did call it a little later than most others, but he still came in about MJB time, maybe a little bit later. So he's about a lap or 2 into these tyres, and he's setting some blistering times. 27.4, he's pulling away from Eddie by the looks of it. Slowly closing in on MJB, very, very slowly. But you know, that's what you got to do. Do it slowly, do it safely, and he might end up catching up in the long run. But Ellie though, with those hard tyres beginning to jump into gear, is showing some insane pace, and so is Bion on the medium. Reggie's going to have to start looking in those mirrors before long, as Ellie is going very, very fast. Looking back towards the Bubba George fight though, everyone seems to be just managing to a standard that they don't have to do too much. They're all kind of just a second away from each other. Nivi is closing though. Nivi doesn't like to give that breather. He likes to close up and he likes to have a good fight. And I don't think Ricciardo will be balancing his race for too much longer before Nivi is in his mirrors, as he's already 1.1 second behind. And we have got a yellow flag. Who's that for? It looks like a Williams, and it's MJB who's facing the wall, facing that Aramco barrier. He's going to have to try and get it reversed in that reverse gear, back into first. It's going to lose him heaps and heaps of time as he tries to rejoin the track nice and safely there on the right hand side, where those tyres are going to be feeling it, as he just cuts in front of his teammate there into P9. But it does give Reggie P3 and does go into the pit lane as Blow, but he'll come out on P2. Will Reggie be able to try and hunt down Blow, as that hard tyre will be very, very chilly? We'll wait and see. But Ellie is showing some extreme pace, so we might see Ellie hunting down Blow at this point in the Grand Prix, as she is very much on the back of that McLaren car now. We'll keep an eager eye on that, as Ellie has showed some insane pace on her return. Actually, let's ride on board of her as we go up towards turn 4. She is really pushing that McLaren through now, setting blistering lap times. Purple sector 1. Let's see if she can try and make a move through sector 2. It's unorthodox, but you never know. If she's got this much pace, she might make it look easy as we go through turn 6 and then 7 towards turn 8. This Alpine car is absolutely flying. It's not easy to make a move through sector 2, but I think she'll try and size one up as we go on towards lap 14 now. There's time. There is time, and she is absolutely flying. 3.2 seconds faster now. These dry tyres have found a bit of a window of pace now, as Reggie is really beginning to panic. Look in those mirrors, having a little bit of a slide, and here comes Ellie to the outside. Reggie covers it off nicely, but he's going to cut back to the inside, try and get that exit that he needs. Can Ellie get as good an exit? No, she can't, but with DRS and a little bit of extra ERS power, can she get past Reggie? She's flying down the main straight here to the inside of turn 1. Late on the brakes goes Ellie, and that makes the move stick. Reggie has to give in quite simply, as that does give Ellie another dose of DRS down the second straight, and Reggie, you're just going to follow behind, try and follow the line of Ellie, as she has got some extraordinary pace, and maybe he'll try and hunt up on the top 2 drivers. There goes Reggie though. Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper behind Ellie. The dirty air spins him off a little bit, gives B on P4. Reggie really needs to bring a little bit of focus into this McLaren car and a little bit of concentration, as he is beginning to struggle on this drier tyre. He needs to settle in and get into that rhythm that we have seen him do multiple times before in his long CLR career. But here he is, you know, back on the back of Bion. He's got a very big role model to follow now. Let's see what he can do. He's got to get to grips with that McLaren. It's been a while since it's been one of them, so yeah, let's see what he can do. He's going to have Jean on the back of him, not in too much time if he's not careful though. So he's got to be careful. Got to be really, really careful here. And then through the field, we have got a little bit of a train forming behind George Gamer. George Gamer still trying to hunt up Bubba, but not doing a great job at it, and is having to stay with that 1.4 second gap that he's had for a while now. And MJB, who briefly spun off earlier on, and we can see the Rico spun off just now through sector 2 onto that long sweeping right hand of turn 5. But yeah, MJB is going to be right up the back of George Gamer. He's got himself settled after that spin. Can he make the move stick into turn 1? George gives him a squeeze. MJB returns it back to him on the exit. Hard racing here. DRS on the Williams car. Both Williams car get DRS. George Gamer knows how to give a hard fight though. There he pushes him through. And Andrew appears out of nowhere up the inside of MJB and makes a move look easy there. As we see a spinner. It's Reggie. Reggie, no. Reggie's had another spin. Reggie's really struggling on this dry tyre. He's got a bit of wing damage. I think he done similar to what MJB done. And that has dropped him down to P11 ahead of his teammate. And that's quite bad damage. He's probably going to have to give way. Yeah, he is. And he's going to have to come into the pit lane and get that fixed. He's going to give Jens a hard time though, isn't he? Here he goes. This is what we like to see. Jens trying his best. Reggie doesn't have enough turning to give him too much of a fight. But he's done a little bit for Ricciardo there. Ricciardo has got that little bit of extra gap that he didn't have beforehand because his teammates helped him out. So a little bit of team play already coming into order in McLaren. Papaya rules, some would say. Papaya rules. Andrew has managed to get past George Gamer as well. We didn't see that, so I was watching that Reggie incident. But Andrew's showing some mad pace on that hard tyre. The hard tyre just in general, on every single car, is showing some crazy speed. So, you know, if you're on a medium tyre, looking to go on the hard later on the Grand Prix, I don't think they're going to be too fussed. Not too fussed at all. MJB, though, can he have a second shot at George Gamer? To the inside, maybe? No, not yet. He can have a look. No, now. He's going to have a look. Contact made. Was that a bit brave from MJB? I bet they'll both say other things. But here comes MJB again. Towards turn 4 now. It's an unorthodox place to make a move, but MJB's done it. What a move. What a place to make the said move. And he's up to P8 just behind his teammate now. Absolute class there from MJB25. Last season champion. Has showed the 3-time world champion how to do it. Lovely move there from MJ. And here comes Nivi now. After a little bit of a poor call from the switchover tyre. Is really beginning to show his way and carve his way back through this field. And so is Blow hunting down the top number 1 driver into the crash. Huge crash between MJB and George Gamer. George Gamer with a tyre missing in the middle of the track. Then his teammate of Faded has to avoid the car. I think we might see a safety car. Yes, we have. Horrible crash there between MJB and George. I didn't see what happened, but that has caused MJB massive damage. I'm assuming he'll be into the pit lane for a nice replacement, and so is everyone else. A fresh set of tyres will bring them to the end of this Grand Prix. I wouldn't be surprised to see pretty much everyone go for hards, and the ends go for a second time penalty, just to add to his, plates. He likes to add things to the plate, and 10-second time penalties are one of them by the looks of it. But now, that's mixed things up. MJB, with a little bit of an anger probably filling him now, chucks on a set of hard tyres, but maybe the anger can fuel him to push his way back through the field. I think he's managed to come out of that unscathed. Yes, he has. George Gamer, though. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him. As Pinkweb's here. What happened there? I don't know. We cut to it as we saw George Gamer kind of upside down, back to front, inside out, and MJB scattering across the other side of the track. So clearly something's happened between those two. But George Gamer coming out for the worst. MJB coming out just enough okay to keep going again. But this is going to mix things up now, isn't it? This is really going to mix things up, as everyone who were before the safety car got called out has made a pit stop. Your top 4 didn't get a chance, but here they come now. There goes Dear Alex, there goes Blow, there goes Eddie, all into the pit lane. What will Beyond do? I would be surprised if he doesn't pit. Yes, he does. There he goes, into the pit lane. And that'll be everyone for a fresh set of tyres. Twinkie's in as well, down at the back. So everyone for a fresh set of tyres. That's now time for them to settle down, and it's pretty much going to start this race from 0 again. Back to the beginning, as you could say, a fresh start. Let's wait and see what happens. Anything can happen now. It's all to play for. Bit of excitement as we get about halfway through this Grand Prix. Only halfway through. My voice isn't happy to hear, but my excitement of the racing action is very much happy to hear. And it's going to be close between Beyond and Eugene here, as Beyond does come out quite far ahead there. So Beyond will keep that P4. He'll be very happy to know. Ellie's in chat. You don't want to know how nervous I am. I'm not surprised. I'm nervous for you. Up in P3 at the moment, not a bad place to be on. And on that hard tyre, we saw people performing absolutely class on it. So, you know, you got 2 mediums in front of you. That hard tyre might give you a good chance. Don't want to give you a jinx there, Ellie, but you never know. You're in a good spot, let's say. I'm going to quickly just reset that. But for now, let's have a quick break. 30-second ad break whilst we see everyone form up behind the Burt Mylander, whilst he's had to stop and put his sandwich down, as a wise man once said. Still without a podium here after the nightmare Portimao. Yeah, everyone remembers Portimao. Everyone remembers Portimao. That was one day. That was one interesting day. Right, here are your penalties. It's interesting. It's going to bring some changes to the end of the Grand Prix. Andrew with 3, Fade with 6, and then pretty much everyone from P12 downwards has at least 3, apart from Furious Abbey, who also has 6 to his name. For those that don't know, 3-second time penalties are given for track limits. So you get 3 chances to go off the track. As soon as you go off the track for that 3rd time, you're lobbed with a 3-second time penalty. Then the clock starts again, and if you do it again, you get another 3-second time penalty, and it goes on and on and on and on and on until you get about 15, and they disqualify you. So you know, don't do it too much, but it's a deterrent, as some would say. If you do it once, you get a warning. Do it again, it's another, and then if you do it again, you're going to get a time loss. And at the end of the day, going off track can sometimes lose you time and still get you a warning. So, you know, it's worth keeping it on the grey stuff, not the green. The green you're meant to avoid, Jens, just so you know. Also, those big things that look like barriers on the side, not meant to touch them. They're quite strong. Anyway, the McLarens, after their beautiful qualifying, that they demonstrated what they can clearly do, and fingers crossed they'll do for the rest of the season, hasn't been portrayed in this race. They've had a bit of a struggle down to P11 and 12. We saw Reggie having a bit of a struggle as he went on to that fresh, medium tyre. Now he's on a hard. It's going to change things up a little bit. Hopefully for the McLaren team, they'll try and hunt their way back through the field. Dear Alex, though, has done some job to stay in P1 after everything that happened, and we can see Twinkie really wanting to try and unlap himself. I'm not surprised. If you stay lap there, you're gonna end up a lap behind everyone. So I think he wants past. It's just quite tricky on the F1 game to get yourself unlapped. As we see a 3-second time penalty for Rico under the safety car. Interesting. But yeah, I think that's going to be Twinkie trying to get past there. Is he going to get past? Oh, he's disqualified. Twinkie's not going to get past. Twinkie's out. I saw what he was trying to do there. I do feel a little bit bad. But yeah, that's his Grand Prix over. Yeah, I saw that, Twinkie. Welcome to EA, shall I say. Welcome to EA. That was odd. You were actually driving quite a good race. I know you was at the back, but your consistency was pretty good. So that's quite a shame. How am I even most unlapped? Yeah, it's just a lot of feature on this game. Very silly. Yeah, no worries. Anyway, Jens is gone. Where's Jens gone? Should we get him back? I think we should. Where is he? Jens. Oh, he's very much gone. Jens is very gone. Jens isn't gone. He's gone. Okay, Jens. Let's come back, shall we? Come back to the real world. Yes, I know you want to. Oh, you've been given a huge penalty as well. Just to round it off, I will invite you, Jens, as we are on a safety car. I can rest myself. You're not here, Jens. I'm afraid. I'll try and find you on my offline list. Where are you? Try and do my ABCs. You think I know them by now, as an engineer. Yeah, and I can't find you, buddy. Where are you? I can't do it, Jens, I'm afraid. You don't exist, and you've got another 10-second time penalty. I don't know what's going on for you, Jens. Oh no, it's the same one. And safety car's in this lap. So, Jens, you're going to have to find a way to get in, because I'm going to have to watch 16 cars fly around for another 15 laps here. Yeah, sorry, Jens, I couldn't find your friends list. Anyway, here comes Alex. He's pacing the field. It's down to him to call it when he wants to go. It's a nice position to be in, but it's also not very nice, as he knows he's got 15 cars behind him that also won that first place, that top podium step. Let's see when he goes, though. That V-carb wiggling around, giving a bit of an unknown to the guys behind him, the guys and girls behind him. It might go on the exit. Has he gone? Yes, he's gone. Has Blow been able to react in time as they all weave to the right side of the track? In a minute, they'll all weave back to the left. There they go. Nice little maximum wave. As we see Bjorn looking towards the inside of Ellie. Can he make a move stick on the side of her? No, he can't. Has to stay behind. Towards turn 2, though. Can he make anything happen? Here we go. We'll watch on board of the Aston Martin. Wiggling around. Can't make anything happen. These two are going to go fighting, aren't they? And the two ahead, will they pull away if these two fight too hard? We'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Kicks Sauer, though, have had a great recovery after their safety car restart, up to P5 and 7. We saw Nivi and MJ going at it a little bit there at the very beginning, as it's all really, really close at this portion of the Grand Prix. We'll keep an eye on some racing action, shall we? Through Sector 2, not much you can do. Oh, my opponent, I didn't even know it. Yeah, you just kind of have to chill, as Andrew didn't do, flying off on the exit there of turn 10. Turn 10. Little bit of a struggle. You can't really get these tyres warmed up after a safety car. Can be a bit of a tricky task, but he's managing to do it. Everyone will be in the same boat or the same car. Very funny. Anyway, everyone's in the same car, in the same position, having the same struggle. So don't feel too bad for yourself, Andrew. You'll get there one day. Anyway, Ellie had a little bit of a gap pulled ahead of her, as Blow and Alex are going at it like they have done the last few seasons now. These two love a fight. They do love a fight on track. Off track, I'm sure they're great friends, but on track, yeah, all of that goes out the window. You can be besties, but if you come on track with someone else, it's a different story. It's a different life. Anyway, Ellie's doing a good enough job to fight off Bjorn from behind. So, you know, that's all she needs to do. If she's looking for that podium position like she said earlier on, all she's got to do is keep the people behind. And she's done a good job so far. Let's see what she can do in the next 15 odd laps. Can you try and invite you again? I will do it now, Jens, yes. But you're kind of out of it. I can't see you anywhere. No, Jens, you're gone, I'm afraid. Anyway, back into the racing action. Bubba still struggling and in this Grand Prix, 22 laps in. Yeah, not having a great race, is he? But he's still up in P7, not doing too bad in the Kick Sauber. After a while away, you know, got to get that rust off the wheels, get himself back into the cockpit and give it a go again. He's only a second off though, so hopefully he'll try and get himself back into that train, as he has done, just scraping into that second window. Faded though, also in that second window, as well as everyone else behind her. So it's a close fight down to P12 from about P3. So we'll keep an eye, but there's an even closer fight as we're going side by side round turn 2. Below on the outside, Alex on the inside. Going side by side now towards turn 3. Below's got the advantage, he's got that traction. Gives Alex a bit of a squeeze here. Alex is throwing hands as we go towards turn 4. Alex has the back out on the inside. Below, for the first time in this race, has the actual net P1. He's going to be happy. He's going to have a smile on that face as Alex is going to try and give him a little bit of a push towards turn 6. Not a place to make a move and does have to stay behind for the rest of this lap. We'll keep an eye though. We'll keep an eye. This fight is going to play on for a while. Ellie though, still doing a master job at keeping the season 3 Friday tier champion behind. It could have been season 4. Might have been season 4. Not sure. But Bjorn, he knows what he's doing here in an F1 race, isn't he? He knows what he's doing. And he is going to give a good fight. He knows what the podium position can give. And getting a podium position at the start of the season is something you want to have to your name, as he's currently in P4 and he can see it in his grass. It's right in front of him. That extra few points that he can get. But he's also going to be careful behind, as that Kick Sauber is looking mighty fast. Can Bjorn do anything towards turn 1? No, he can't. He does make a move though. Contact has been made as Jean comes up the inside. And then goes Bjorn flying off to the side. Oh, the Dutchman towards the wall. That's going to drop him all the way down to P11, P12 as Bjorn. Podium, which gave him a little bit of commentator's curse there, is out the window as he almost takes out Furious Swappy as well. His fellow Dutchman nearly gets a little bit of a heat from B on himself. Gives Jean and Andrew up at top to a top P5 position. These still be having a bit of a smile on their face. Apart from Andrew, who's got that 3-second time penalty that he got very early on in the Grand Prix, it's gonna affect him as we get into the latter portion of this Grand Prix. 10 laps left, really, and you know they go very, very quickly here at Hungary. With only a minute 15 lap around, there's not much time left for Andrew to gain 3 seconds and overtake the guys and girls ahead of him. Especially since Ellie is fighting off anyone that's given a competition. She wants that podium position. Jean will want it too on his debut. Bubba as well is doing a master job to fight off the lone standing Ferrari at this point in the Grand Prix. We did see George Gamer having a mighty crash at the start of this season though, so we'll keep an eye on what he does after the session on that incident. As we see at the front again, Blow and Alex are going hammer and tong. Blow manages to defend the position for another lap. Alex is going to have to settle for a bit longer, P2 for Alex, still P1 for Blow. Ellie and Jean going at it. Oh, there's a little bit of contact as Jean's now the next driver to go off on the exit of turn 3. Ellie though has ended up having to give up the position to Andrew in P3 as they're still going at it. I think Ellie will be trying to get that position back. But Andrew, we saw it round 1 last season, round 1 this season, he's back on a podium. He's back on a podium. Mr. Round 1, as we said earlier in the stream, is Mr. Round 1 again. But looking back towards Bubba again, Faded is really pushing him through now. She, in that Ferrari car, is really giving it to the limit. She knows what she's got to do. She's just got to make it happen. DRS down this next straight, a little bit of battery power and a little bit of braveness on the throttle pedal as you go round the final corner might give her that advantage to get past Bubba. Let's wait and see as they come around the final corner now onto lap 26. What can she do? The Williams close behind. She's going to have to give it a push now. Here she comes. To the outside she goes, on the outside of Bubba. Going to give that later braking that you need. Bubba's gone fairly late on the brakes as well. DRS activated for the Ferrari car as she gets another dosage. Can she do anything towards turn 2 now? No, she can't. MJB though, he might have a look around the outside of turn 2. She go towards turn 3. Now he's got the inside line. A little bit of a squeeze there, but he can't do anything and has to stay behind. But up at front, DR Alex has got a 3-second time penalty. Not what you want when you're fighting for a P1 position. You know, that's a little bit of a disadvantage for him, and he's actually almost fallen out of DRS from Blow. Blow showing what he can do as a race leader and a race winner. So yeah, worth keeping an eye on this fight, especially since Alex could be out of contention with this extra penalty that he has got to his name. Huge gap behind though, as there is Ellie behind, and oh, another spinner. It's Jean this time, again, as it might be a bit of a dangerous rejoin. Sixth path just about avoids him. But yeah, Jean spins again in this Grand Prix, down to P14, and gets damaged this time. So, you know, not what you want. So has Rico for another time in this Grand Prix. Another spinner, and another load of damage on another car. Expensive weekend, and that's another M plate gone on the Alpine. You know, Alpine hasn't had the best weekend so far, apart from Ellie, who's got herself back up onto that podium spot ahead of Andrew. But Andrew's teammate of MJB is still there. There's a train now. Bubba's closed up. Faded's closed up. MJB very much closed up, and he's gone for a move on the inside of turn 2 on Faded. Can he make the move stick? Round the outside of turn 3. Traction down. Yes, he can. Lovely move there by the Williams car. MJB making some beautiful moves in this Grand Prix. Livy, another one who is closed up to this train. Got the 2 McLaren cars behind them though. You know, there's a fight on their hands as it's going to be close. As Ricciardo. Oh, Ricciardo does nothing. Ricciardo lags out. Not what you wanted though. As it nearly like he went through the back of his teammate there. That was a bit of a scary point for Reggie looking in his mirrors. As I think Rico is going to be calling it quits. Yes, he is in the pit lane. Too much damage on that Alpine car, and that's enough for him to call it quits today. Ricciardo though might also have to come in and change that front wing as he's got a lot of damage now. Oh no, he doesn't. He's fine. He came out of that alive. Good. Lucky for him there. All he's got to do is try and close back up on that train that is now being led by Andrew, as Ellie has pulled a 1.5 second lead. Andrew's not going to have that DRS. He's going to get double passed by MJB and Bubba. Who's going to come out on top though? It looks like it's going to be MJB, as he gives a massive push to Bubba, and it lets Andrew get back past, and that does drop Bubba down to P6, but not for long, as Faded makes an incredible dive on the inside of turn 2, drops Bubba down to P7, and it won't be long until Nivy will be trying to size up a move behind him. So it's very, very close. Bubba, not great portion. We do cut to him when he's in a bit of a bad spot, don't we? Apologies for that, Bubba. Yeah, we're a bit of an unlucky charm here on stream. Only a few laps left of this Grand Prix though, and Blow is still managing that track limit and keeping that 3-second advantage on Alex that he must keep to keep that win for certain. Unless Alex can get that 3-second time penalty removed, that we'll find out after the Grand Prix. But for now, net position, Blow's in a good spot. Blow's in a very, very good spot, as long as he can manage it to perfection. We'll keep an eye, as it's going to be close towards the latter portions of this Grand Prix. But yeah, I don't think Alex is going to not put up a fight, as here he comes to the outside of Blow. DRS makes it look easy, and he has made the move stick before we even got to turn 1. So good move from him. Now he's got to try and pull 3-second gap. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Moving back to this midfield fight, MJB has pulled away from Andrew, who's held up that pack, as MJB has managed to hunt down Ellie ahead, and Andrew is really, really holding up everyone behind him. You know, Faded, Nivy, Bubba, Reggie, Beyond, Ricciardo, all stuck behind that Williams car. Maybe a bit of tactics being put into play, as James Vowles telling Andrew to give MJB that safety net, that safety margin that he needs with that time penalty that he has got. Faded away though, now up to 9-second time penalties, as she has got a little bit more over the track limits than she should have done a few times now. 17.9 by Jean. I think that might be on a set of mediums. He's just pit onto a nice fresh set. Number 99, the Kicks Alba. You know, he's struggling down in P14, but at least they got the fastest lap to their name. That is something to be proud of. Something to be proud of. And you never know, if anything happens near the latter portion of this Grand Prix, they might still get back into it. Have a look at what can get back into it is Dear Alex. He did put a little bit of a lead to Blow. Not enough though. It's got to be 3 seconds. It's only 9 tenths, and with that DRS, all Blow's got to do is stay behind long enough to manage and, you know, keep that speed, keep that pace, and keep that judgment behind his rival ahead of him. We see a spinner though, and I think that's a Ricciardo down the exit of the final corner. Can't get it into reverse gear. I think he's stuck. Have he got a safety car? He might do. I think it's a VSC. He's finally got it going again. Really gave that car some revs. Oh yeah, we think we've got a VSC here in Hungary as everyone slows down. A little bit of a breather here. Get a little bit of battery saved up. And 5 laps to go. It's what you kind of want, isn't it? It's going to bring a bit more excitement now as you see Jens's car getting lapped just behind of Bubba. Nivy made a move on Bubba though, as we saw earlier on. Nivy could be on for contention here, as we've seen MJB pass Ellie just before this VSC happened. I'm assuming this VSC won't last long, as Ricciardo's got himself going again. It might be a matter of seconds before it goes back in again. Let's keep an eager eye out from the FIA. We see a 3-second time penalty. That's from Ricciardo. Probably a little bit heated from his spin. Lost quite a heap of time. As he's all the way down in P12 now. Still in the points, still got to keep that management to perfection, and he's retired. Not what you want to do. I think that was on track. Yeah, that's a penalty. That's not good. Anyway, DRS is enabled, and we're going again. MJB is ahead of Ellie, and they're going to get there before the DRS detection point, which means Ellie's going to have DRS as we go on towards lap 31 now. On the Alpine driver, DRS, ERS, everything giving it towards turn 1 now. Can she get back past MJB? Maybe not into this corner. Another dosage of DRS she will get as we go round towards turn 2 now. The long sweeping left. MJB with a master exit. It'll probably keep him ahead for a little bit longer. Yes, it will. Ellie's going to have to try and manage the rest of this lap and try and keep within that 1 second margin that you need and must manage for that DRS to you know, have that space, have the extra speed that you want. Andrew's still doing enough though to manage off Faded behind. With that time penalty, he knows that he's going to fall behind and fall fall further down the grid order, but what he can do is assist his teammate, and that is what he's doing quite well here. Massive train down to P10. Furious Happy might even close up at the end of this Grand Prix. Not many laps left, but you never know. With this train that Andrew's causing, there's always an opportunity. Jens says everyone's not disconnecting. Happy just to finish where I qualified. Yeah, you still improved. Will we see some pitting? Probably, and the mediums are hurting. Yeah. But at the moment, Jens, I don't know. It's too late in the Grand Prix to bring it into the pit lane and pit, unless there's a late safety car like Ricciardo called out earlier on. Ellie though has fallen out of that 1 second margin for the DRS behind MJB, so he will probably start to struggle. She might start to fall into the grips of Andrew at this latter portion. Only a few laps left of the Grand Prix though, so you never know. She might be able to manage it and stay ahead of Andrew with that time penalty that Andrew's got. It could still give her a bit of a ease at mind, but she wants that podium. She said it earlier on. That comment was also under VSC, but it went great. Oh yeah, that makes sense. But at the moment, I don't think we can have another VSC because we're too late into the Grand Prix. So if anything happens, that's that. They're just going to stay on the side of the track. Feel the pain. Feel the pain. Let's keep an eye on this Andrew fight though. I bet there'll be some moves made, as Nivi's clearly made a mistake. Down to P10. He was ahead of Bubba. He's now behind Bubba, behind Reg, and behind Elon. So, yeah, maybe a mistake, maybe contact made. Not sure at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on that for after the Grand Prix. Might be a penalty going someone's way, but he has managed to keep away from those 3-second time penalties at the moment. So if he can manage that, he'll still end up probably getting up to P7, maybe even P6, if he manages to perfection to the end of the Grand Prix. But here comes Andrew again. He's going on to lap 33. Can he defend for another lap like he's done all these previous laps before? DRS, he won't have DRS, but he'll have the ERS, but Faded makes a move look easy, and Andrew has to stay behind, probably for the rest of the lap. He'll have Bubba close behind now, as he will have DRS. Andrew is just going to have to suffer here, but it's too much of a spacing, and he won't be able to get past the Williams car. You can see Alex still keeping that lead at the front as well, just ahead of below. It's quite close, but with that 3-second time penalty on Alex, anything can happen. Anything can happen. We need to see below getting a time penalty, probably this lap. We might see excitement happening later on. Jens, give me a call for who you think will win. Who you think will win this Grand Prix? Will it be Alex? Will it be Blow? Will it be someone else? You never know. Something might happen. Something might happen. It could be you, Jens. You're not even here. Not even here. Anyway, after penalties, below Alex MJB. Yeah, that's a good shout. As we're going on to lap 34 now, the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. We've got about 3 minutes left of the Grand Prix. It's going to be close now. Then we'll have a nice little bit of podium celebrations. Who will take that top step? Let's wait and find out. I thought Jens put something in chat. Speak to me, Jens. Let's have a look at Faded though. You can see that pace that Andrew clearly doesn't have. Faded's pulled away massively, and you'll see Bubba making a move around the outside. Lots of people diving late on the brakes, trying to get past Beyond there. Can't make it stick, but Andrew goes down 2 positions in the space of 1 corner. Not very good from Andrew. As here comes Reggie now. Can Reggie do anything after his teammate's retirement? Only a few laps before. Reggie needs to score points for this McLaren team. It's going to be close. Andrew's not showing very much pace, but with Reggie getting 9-second worth of penalties, it's going to cause him a bit of an issue, and he'll probably fall behind Nivi later on in this Grand Prix. We'll keep an eye on what Reggie can do. Not much time left though. Not much time left at all. He's really got to push hard to try and close up to Andrew. Get that move done, and, you know, have that pride of he did it on track, but that tank slapper is not going to help at all. Not going to help at all. We'll keep an eye on that. What I want to see right now, who's going to win on track? Who's going to win on track? Is it going to be Alex? Is it going to be Blow? Bubba and Beyond are going to take P5 and 6 on those. Probably, with that management of turn penalties, it's not a bad thing to do, is it? Not a bad thing to do. George Game is known for doing that, but not when you're in a wall. Anyway, here they come. Alex and Blow onto the final lap of the Grand Prix. Can Blow do anything? Is he just going to play it safe and stay behind for the rest of the Grand Prix. Probably he doesn't need to do anything too drastic because he's got that 3-second advantage on Alex. We'll keep an eye on it though. He can easily still spin off. He's got to keep that Haas car in a straight line as he comes around the final few corners of Sector 1 onto Sector 2 now. Long sweeping right-hander before we get ready for the final chicane of this circuit. It's a tricky one, this one. Don't want to hit the curbs. If you said in qualifying, hit that curve too hard and you'll be flung into the air, cause the underboard some damage, and then you're in trouble. But it doesn't really matter at the end of this Grand Prix. Damage isn't going to affect him. Mental damage might affect him, but you know, Blow knows what he's doing. Blow knows what he's doing when it comes to this Grand Prix. Reggie with a spin though. We've seen that a couple times, but anyway, here comes Blow. Round to the end of this Grand Prix. Final sector, final few corners, 2 corners to manage it before he will win the beginning of Season 5 like he did last season. Couldn't turn it into any championship last season, but can he do it this season? Let's keep an eye out on that. But here they come, round the final corner. It'll be across the line. It's Alex for the win, but on paper, Blow will win the Grand Prix. MJB will round off the podium for that P3, and Ellie, who fought so hard to try and get onto that podium position, will have to settle for P4. On track, Faded on her debut will get P5, but with those penalties will drop it all the way down to P7, giving Bubba and B on P5 and 6 respectively. Andrew will get P8 on paper, but Nivy will get up to P7, beating Faded. Andrew will drop down to P9, with Reggie getting P10, managing a little bit of points there for the McLaren team after an incredible performance from both McLarens in qualifying. Sick Path will get P11 here in round 1, having a masterclass performance before Furious Appy will get P13. But that's it. That's it for that session. You're never going to get a podium. Oh, you never know. You never know. You tried your best. You did try your best. But having a look, Jens turn 1 lap before, maybe you could see penalties. Lots of bumping. That would be interesting if we see penalties. But there is your race winner, the Polish driver of Blow, getting that win. It was a hard-fought fight. It was a well-deserved win. I am impressed. I'm very impressed. P4 is the best ever result in this league. Happy with that. You should be happy with that. It was a show. It was a show, and I very much enjoyed watching it. If you did too, make sure you drop a follow. Make sure you have a look on the CLR Twitch. Make sure you have a look on the CLR Discord. Look at the TikTok, and make sure you look at what's the other one? YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on there. Keep your eyes on that. There's always a bit of fun going on there. A little bit of serious stuff as well. If you want to join in the action, join into the Discord. It's in our bio. There is a link on the Discord, on the Twitch, the Discord. There is one on the TikTok, and there probably is one on the YouTube too. Other than that, we will see you tomorrow night, which will be for CLR Friday. That's going to be held at, I think it's Singapore. And then CLR Sunday, brand new, is going to be Italy for 100% this Sunday. For Thursday tier, next week out, it'll be at Qatar. And that is going to be... It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one, especially after Blow getting that master win that he's already got here in Season 5 of Round 1. Anyway, we'll see you next time out. We'll see you tomorrow with George Gamer for Singapore. Other than that, thank you for joining me here in the commentary box, and we'll see you next week.